we can start. We have about 1 hour together. I'm going to give the recording afterwards as well. If you are here with me, maybe you don't need it, but if you have been registered and you cannot join, so you will be happy to have it. And so during this 1 hour, we are going to look at 3 elements in order to design or redesign a dream life. And what I want to do as well, I forgot, but I need to change something. Yes, that's the real me. That's my home, because I'm going to use that. Okay, so we are going to look at 3 different aspects of how we can redesign our life and how we can redesign it the right way. Some of you know me, some of you not at all. So I'm going to share quickly who I am. But before that, I would like to thank you for being present. Here it's like 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock evening, and it's always a little bit complicated to join, and there is family life happening. And I know for my case that every time I come to a webinar during this period of time, it's because I'm really motivated. I'm motivated to find a solution, to find a nugget, to find something in order for me to go one step further. And I believe it's the same for you. So congratulations for taking action. For some of us, sometimes we feel trapped, and we are more in the more problem oriented, and for some of us, we are in the solution oriented. And it's where you are right now. You are solution oriented, because if you are not solution oriented, you don't come to this kind of webinar. So congratulations. And what I would like us to do, it's like, if you are solution oriented, so I'm going to share with you what I have done in my case and with my clients in order to change my life and to redesign a life that I love. And I would like you to see this webinar like demarcation point or line, and to think, okay, that's going to be one webinar that's going to really change something in my life. There is going to be the life before and there is the life after. And it's not because I'm going to give you my recipe, but it's more because what I invite you to do is to look at how you can use all the things that I'm going to share with you, how you can use it for your own life, how you can use it, and going deeper into, it's going to be a me time for you, and going to go deeper into how can I change my life according to what she's explaining. I would like you to go deeper and to take something concrete. And this way, it's going to be like one invested hour. Okay for you? So if it's okay, you can put like a yes in the chat, and then I can see that we are on the same path. Perfect, Sarah, Tanya, Nila, perfect. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to explain a little bit about me. I'm French, you can hear that. I live in Germany. I've been living in Germany for 21 years now. And I came in Germany because of my job. I was a chemical engineer. I wasn't a coach at that time. And my job helped me to really, to really design my life in Germany. And I have now 3 children. My husband is German, and we are going to stay in Germany, I believe. And the job was fine as long as it was challenging, and as long as I had the impression that I learned something. I could travel a lot. So during a period of my time, I traveled like 50% of my time. And therefore, I learned a lot about different culture, about myself, and so on. So it was challenging, and I like challenges. However, I knew at the beginning already, I knew that it wasn't something I was passionate about. The career, the chemical engineering part was not really something that I have been passionate about, and I wasn't really aligned with the values and the people I was working with. So I could see my energy level going down and down and down every year. And about, I think like 11 years ago, 10 years ago, I came back to Japan. I remember I came back to Japan. It was like a really quick trip in Japan, 2 days with 2 meetings. It was really intense, really stressful. Came back to Japan, and my husband told me, here are the keys of the car and the home. I'm gone. I have done my duty, and you have to take care of the children. And I remember at that moment, during the night, one of my child was sick, and desperate, wanted to sleep, just to sleep. And at that moment, I was lying on the floor of the door, the room of one of my son. He was, I don't know, like maybe 1 year old or something like that. And I thought at that moment, it's like a download when you have like a moment of clarity, and you have like, oh my God, that cannot be it. That cannot be my life. I cannot be in this kind of state all the time. I was very frustrated. I felt a lot of anger with my husband first, maybe with my child anyway, with my boss, with myself, with the world. And at that moment, I had this download. And I believe that maybe you had it, that maybe that's why you are here, or maybe you are going to have it. I believe that we have different time in our life. We have that again and again and again. It's that moment where like, yeah, like something come to us, and then we have to decide, and we have to decide if we accept this new reality, which is kind of scary, because then we have to get rid of something. In my case, it was clear I had to get rid of my job. Maybe my husband wasn't sure about that. But for some of us, it's something else. It may be our relationship, maybe, I don't know, our way of our lifestyle or whatsoever it is. And we have two possibilities there. An epiphany, yes, exactly, yeah. We have two possibilities. One is, okay, I accept it, and then I take it and I change my life. Or I go into denial, and I think, I'm just overwhelmed. I'm just tired. I'm just emotional. And then we continue to endure something that is wrong in our life. So my question to you, because you are here today, I kind of have the sensation that eventually you endure something wrong too long. The question is what it is. And if you have a paper, you can just try to write it down without thinking too much, because if you write something down right now without thinking much, it means that you don't filter it. You have no time to go into denial, and then boom, you find the truth. So sometimes it takes time. I know that with my client, because my clients are usually achievers, overachievers sometimes. They are very, very well trained to endure things too long. They are very well trained to push. But what I have seen, and what I wrote in my book, so if you don't know me, so here the book that I have co-written with some other ladies in US and in Europe, and I explain the situation I have been in, and sometimes we push very long in one direction, thinking I have to go through it. It's going to be better on the other side. I have done that so long, during so many years. And as I told you, my client, usually they are kind of the same. And pushing hard is nice, but pushing hard in the wrong direction, it's a pity. It's really a pity. And at that moment, lying on the floor of the room of my child, coming back to Japan 11 years ago, I understood that I had to change that. I decided to go into coaching. For me, it was sure why that it was my path, because I was already a lot into personal development. However, my problem was at that moment is I was completely exhausted. I was completely burned out. And I know that some of you here know what it means. A burnout is not something that it's just like 1 week and then it's better. It takes time to go back to that. So I was burned. I had no energy, and I wanted to change that. I had 2 small children. My husband couldn't really understand what was my problem, to be honest. So I couldn't really ask him for support. So my first lesson, what I learned, and something that I want to share with you, is that I had to go back to a good energy level and to reorganize myself so that I could have enough time to learn something new, to learn my new career path, to learn to be a coach, to go into the certification. It took me 2 years, and I needed about like 10, 12 hours a week in order to, during these 2 years, to go through, the learning and so on. So what I have done, it was the only strategy that I had at that time. And maybe you know that what I'm going to share with you. The Yerkes-Dodson curve, and it's all about, here's your stress. Here's the stress level. It's low stress, high stress, and here it is the performance, okay? Low performance, high performance. So in my case, I thought I don't have much time. So what I need is to be there. I need to have a high performance. And that is the curve for the flow, being in the flow. When you are in the flow, so your mind is like in another state of mind. It's like there is a lot of dopamine inside of it. Your mind creates like this happiness feeling, and you are very, very performant. You can be 2 or 3 times in the flow for 1 day. That is, it take like 1-2 hours, and we can have different kind of flows. You can have flow when you go for a run. You can have flow when you go for a project and you are very dedicated to it. Or you can have flow when you are in the book and you just go like you go in the story of the book. That's flow states, okay? So I knew that I needed to go back there. And in my case, I was eventually here. Here, it's when your stress level is very high, your performance goes down. Your performance goes down because your amygdala inside of your primitive brain just pop up. And when your amygdala is active, you only have 3 possibilities. And it is to fight, or it is to fly, to go away, or to freeze. And I think you know that when you are stressed out, so you might be a little bit more aggressive, or you might just want to go away, just go away. Or sometimes, some of us, we are just like waiting. We are kind of freezing and we wait that the storm goes by, okay? So that's why here, when we are here, we don't have access to this part of our brain. And that is the part of our brain which is creative, which is solution oriented, and which help us to be very performant. The connection is gone. So I was there. And for some of us, but it's not really nice either. For some of us, we are here. If you have a job that is not really fulfilling and it's very easy, you have no challenge at all, and nobody asks you for any kind of results, so you might be here. Here it's like the bore out. Here is the burnout, right? So some of us, sometimes we are here. It's really difficult to understand that we are here, but it happens. And what we want, where we want to go and where we want to be, it's there. In order to be there, we need three things. The first one, we need a sensation of growth. We need to have the feeling that what we do bring us one step further. Usually we need something a little bit challenging, but not too much. If it's too challenging, we go back. But if it's not challenging, we go there, okay? So we need something a little bit challenging, like it's like 4% out of our comfort zone, which is really difficult to calculate because we have no really measure of how much we are into our comfort zone or not. But there is some statistics saying that it's 4% out of the comfort zone, and then you are in this growth process. So growth is important. You have to find growth somewhere again. If it's not at work, out of work. In my case, it was my coaching study. It was very clear what I had to do, and I love coaching. That's why I'm doing it. So I really love doing it. Then you need something else. We need focus. And focus is really complicated nowadays. It's really complicated because we have these kind of things, because we are in open areas at work, open space, because our mind is not used anymore to stay focused on a long period of time on one thing. And the day, the life outside is, everything goes very quick. Therefore, for our mind, it's really difficult sometimes to slow down and to stay focused on something. In my case, I had the 3 children and the 2.5, so 3 children. And I understood that I really needed to have like these 2 hours in the flow in order to be able to have that back. So I decided to simplify my life as much as possible. That was one way of having this focus. I am a meditation mindfulness freak, so I know how to reduce the noise inside of my mind, but that is as well difficult when we have too many thoughts. It's difficult to stay focused as well. But focus is very important. And the last one is it's fun. How many of you forgot the fun part? So I have so many clients, so they have like great job and great family, but they're completely stressed out and they have no fun anymore. They don't know anymore how to be fun or how to feel this fun. They are too serious. So bringing fun back is so important. It's important for us, it's important for our family, it's important for our brain. With fun, our brain can focus more. It's really like our children, they play game, right? Video game. One of my clients, it was a teenager, told me, well, life is like a video game. You have like this different level and you have to train and train and train again. And you do the same mistake. But at some point you can go to the next level. And it's just a game. If you see that as a game, so you have more fun, because they always try again. They fail, they try, they fail, they try, they fail, they try, they don't fail, they succeed and they continue. If we see life the same way, it's far easier to have this humor and this fun back in our life. So I decided to work with that in order to gain a little bit of my energy back, to simplify my life, and to go to my growth. The growth in direction of my dreams. And for me, my dream, so one of the things that was clear, it was I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I love coaching, personal development. I knew I wanted to go in this direction. I knew that I had like this mindfulness, meditation for a long period of time, that it could be my expertise. But that's it. It's all what I knew. However, so some of my clients, sometimes they have no clue what could be the next level. They have no clue. So what we do is the following things. We look at a path for their dreams. It's the first thing that we look at is to find their drivers. To find their drivers, so that means that we have to find again, to rediscover what are the passion, what are the talents, what are the strengths that they have, what kind of values they have. We have to go there, and sometimes it's very complicated. It's very complicated if you cut yourself from yourself for a long period of time because you decided to achieve things, and you decided to not really look at inside, but more to look at outside, all the needs of everyone, and to achieve. Sometimes it's really difficult to go back and say, okay, who I am, what kind of thing I love to do. Maybe 10 years ago, I loved to do that, but I can't do that anymore, or I don't like it anymore. Like, I love to travel. Now, it's not necessarily the first thing I would like to do in my dream life. I like to travel sometimes, but not all the time like I did before. So your drivers, find your drivers. That's really important. The second thing is learn to be resilient. With your dream life, anyway, when you are going to build something new, whatever it is, a new habit, a new sport, a new relationship, or move things around, it's going to be out of your comfort zone. So you need to take it easy and to be resilient. That's a thing that it's nice to have that in your mind, because it put less pressure on yourself. And then what you need is the E. You need energy. Energy is everything. So you need energy because you need to take actions. And if you don't take action, it's going to stay a dream. We don't want it to stay a dream. We want to go in the right direction, one step after the other with resilience. But that means actions, that mean energy. That's why looking at the Yerkes-Dodson curve and looking at where you are more in the flow, when you are more in the flow, what kind of action you should do morning, afternoon, and so on, that can really, really help you to just do the steps one after the others. So that is important. And then we have the A. I will put that this way, ambition. Ambition is really like, what are the things that you want to achieve? What are your goals? What are you selling? Because some of us sometimes think, well, the limit is the sky, and yeah, that's nice, and it might be true. But some point, because we want to have this fulfillment, we want to feel happy. At some point, it's nice to have like, okay, that's my ambition, that's my goal. If I eat that, I'm going to be happy. And if I go over it, it's even better, right? But if you don't have like a goal, if you don't put one, it's difficult to go in the right direction again. And if you go in the right direction, but you don't really have a goal, a clear goal, then you are never finished. And you continue, and that can put a lot of frustration, burnout, and so on. And then we are again in not the right direction. We are again not doing the right thing in order to feel satisfied. So ambition. M. M is for mindset. The question here is that what kind of person do you want to be? As like 10 years ago, I was lying on the floor. I was really like always very aggressive, tired, aggressive, and not the loving person that I wanted to be, even for my children. I wasn't the mom I wanted to be. And I believe that was one of my why. I told myself, I want to be a cool mom. I want to be a mom that can lead by example. That is one of my value. And right now, it's definitely not what I am doing. That's why I shifted my life. I wanted to show my children how we do when we want to live our dream life. And that was like 10, 11 years ago. My children are 10 years older, and I see the results. They are thinking differently. Their mindset is closer to my mindset now. And I'm really happy about that, because they do a lot of action for their own happiness, and they are very stable. So that is my mindset. So my values, the person I wanted to be, or the person I wanted to show, because I believe that it's already inside of us. We just have to look at it and then to bring it out. 10 years ago, I was kind of another person. It was not me. It was something else, another version of me, okay? So your mindset, what kind of things do you want to think? What kind of emotion do you want to feel? Feel that now. Don't wait that you have your dream life. Feel that already now. That's very important. And the last one, the S, I put the S because sometimes we have different dreams, right? The S is really important as well. It supports. Find the right support. Find the people that can help you, can understand you, and they are not necessarily your friends or your family. That was my big lesson. I really needed to go and find them, because my support system is not in my family. Definitely not. Now, maybe a little bit more, but at that time, definitely not. So finding the support, it might be mentors, it might be coaches, it might be friends, it might be partners, it might be where communities, but it's really important. If you have that in mind, and every day you work in this direction, like, okay, today I'm going to be resilient, whatever happening, I'm going to bounce back, and I'm going to have this nice energy. And the thing that I love doing, I'm going to start doing them more. My passions, my whatever it is, I'm going to put myself more into this flow. And you will see that you are going to attract other people, because people sense this kind of energy. And I want to be this person. I want to feel this thing. I want to to think these things. I'm going to do that today already, and start having the right people around you, and that's going to completely change your life. And usually what happened at that moment when we start doing that, oh, it's so cool, so it works, it's so cool. And then something happens. We can say life happens or something like that. But what happened is, or what is really a necessity is, your dreams have to be bigger, stronger than your dramas. Your dreams have to be stronger, more present than your dramas. And what can be dramas? I'm going to share that with you too. Okay, dramas. The first thing is, and I say that already a bit, the first thing is distraction. Distractions. The thing is that when we go out of our comfort zone, our mind is going to look at distractions because he wants to stay in the comfort zone. And distraction, there are so many things that can be distractions. So as I told you already, there is this kind of things like the lack of organization or the lack of discipline, kind of. That for sure distraction, but sometimes it's very subtle. It's like organizing something for your children, you know that you should be working. Or it's like a friend of mine, every time she went back in track on your dream life, she always came up with some excuses like, oh, I couldn't do that because my son is moving back to US and for internship. I said, oh, that's great, that's cool. And he's like 20 and he in US is like his country, so I don't see where is the problem. And there is no problem, but she was distracted with that. Or then, oh, my sister-in-law, she has to move, so I just wanted to help her, or whatever. Or sometimes we have our distraction in our mind. So our brain is really so good at tricking us that sometimes it's even difficult to feel that we have been distracted. Okay. Then there is our dreams have to be stronger than our regrets. We have to think that if we don't do that, if we don't go and chase our dreams, we will regret that. And that's not an option. I know that in my case, I didn't want to regret the fact that I like going back with 60 or 70, going back, looking at my life and telling myself, I did that because it was just more comfortable. Not sure even that it was more comfortable. It was just what I knew. I didn't want to look back and to tell my children I was too not courageous enough to try. So that was not something that I wanted to look back, because for me, it's really like, yeah, so it's not an option. You cannot succeed in your life if you have this kind of regrets. So your dreams have to be bigger than that. And then your dreams have to be bigger than the adversity. And that's really interesting because I know that as an engineer, you have like a social level, and so many people told me you cannot quit that and just being a coach. So it was like the social level would be down. And I didn't feel that, but they did. Or I'm working with a TV star, which is really well known as well in UK, and her name is Motsi Mabuza. And she told me that she's a TV star, but she has a dancing school. And a friend told her, why do you do that? So you can just be an influencer and it's going to be fine. So why you do something like that? And she had to fight against this kind of opinion and adversity. And we all have to do that. So your dreams have to be higher, bigger, stronger than adversity, than what you think your parents, your friends, your husbands, your boss, your colleagues, whoever. It has to be stronger, which is not necessarily easy at the beginning when you feel the fears as well. The M is for misfortune. So as I said before, sometimes life happens and sometimes it's difficult. Sometimes we have some setbacks, some unexpected things happening, some sickness, so many things that can happen that really are hard to deal with. And in my clients, so sometimes we have to look back at their stories and then they tell me their stories, and it's so heavy sometimes. So like, oh my God, that wasn't easy. But it's for so many people, so we have this kind of misfortune, more or less, sooner or later. But you always have to focus your intention to your dreams more than to the misfortune. Maybe you can delay it a little bit, you can go slower, you can change things. However, don't stay in the dramas. If you put your energy in the dramas, in the misfortune, in the why is it happening to me, so it's kind of clear. So if you put your focus there, you have more of that. If you put your focus there, you have more of that. And you might be right to feel bad, to feel upset, to feel whatever. But being right doesn't help you to go there. So you have to have this resilience at that moment and to step back to the right side, so like the light side, and go into your dreams. Maybe one of the most difficult things to do, but if you achieve that, you are stronger than ever. And the mindset that you have is just great. So that is something that you have to remind all the time. Sometimes we like to pity ourselves, which is fine for 5 minutes, for 1 week, depending on what it is. But then come back to this side of the life. And then there is anxiety. If you go out of your comfort zone, if you change your relationship, if you change the country, if you change your career, if you change your job, anxiety is going to pop up, definitely. So it's your choice. Some of well-known people say, do it. Do it even if you fear it. Do it with fear. That's fine, but do it. Who said that building your dream life is comfortable? I do believe that happiness is not comfortable. Happiness is hard work. It's like a good relationship is hard work. And that's the same. It's hard work. And there is some moment where, oh my God, that's why we don't have that. It's because sometimes we are not able to do one of the things here. And the last one is Well, the setbacks, it doesn't work always the way we want it to be. I remember like 2 years ago, 4 years ago now, with the COVID-19 and the lockdown and so on, I had to completely change my business. My business model before COVID and after COVID is completely different, because I did a lot of things with mindfulness and emotional intelligence. And I did that a lot year round, and everything was closed, so I couldn't go there anymore. And I really have to shift completely my business in order to be able to survive it. And yeah, so I am lucky, because at that moment I exactly had the right support. I found the right people. I had the right mindset, and then I went into the right direction. However, I had a lot of setbacks at that moment as well. So that is what I wanted to share with you. It's really like the three things that you have in mind if you want to redesign your life, is to think about your flow, your energy, having fun, having the right energy level, being able to focus at some point in order to do things and to look at where you can grow. It's having in your mind your dreams, your drivers, and the right mindset, and the goals and so on. And always thinking about, okay, I have my dramas, but where do I want to be? Do I want to be part of the solution or part of the problem? So do you have questions about all the things that I have said? You can ask your question in the chat, or maybe you can open your mic as well, because we are not that much today. No questions? Any kind of questions? Okay. If you have no questions, what I would love to know is if there is one thing that you take. I missed the part about drivers. Can you explain that once more? Sure, the drivers is the thing that drive your energy, that drives you in your life. So it's all the things that you need to think about, that brings you joy, energy. Because what's happening is that when you are in the right direction in your life, you are going to have more joy. It's like this profound joy. It's just not like I'm satisfied right now because I just ate chocolate or whatever, but it's really like this fulfillment. This, I know that I'm doing the right things. So your driver is that. And usually the way we look at our drivers is what your talent, your strengths, your values, maybe your skills. You can look at that, but the skill that you want to continue to use. Because in my case, like I was chemical engineer, I don't really want to continue to use this kind of skills. I knew a lot about it. Maybe I like to continue to think about it when I read things about quantum physics or about biology or something like that. I always go back with my chemical skills, but it's not something that I love using. So I just put that on the side. But yes, skills, strength, passion, talent, what energized you, what engaged you, what you feel that you could fight for. All these kind of things are interesting to look at. That's are your drivers. Could I answer the question, Tanya? Great, thank you. Okay, so I know that it's not always easy. So I was thinking about, so what I have done is that I put all that in a course. a few months, a few weeks, a few years ago, I put all my strategy, all the strategy that I used during the yes, that's a great question. How would I get started to put this in practice? And that was the thing. So I have been coaching that during a while, and every time I thought, okay, I have to coach that again and again and again, and it's a pity because it's a lot of time and a lot of money. So I decided to put a program together, and I gave this program the last 2-3 years, and what I decided to do today, and I can share that with you, is to where it is. I have so many things open. I thought just have to look what is open. Yes. So if you are interested to really put that into actions, what I could suggest to you, I hope you see, it's like a program, a month. It's a program that as I designed it, it was for a 1 month program. And we had like 3 to 4 models, and we go through that. We go through the strategy in order to have the right goals, because sometimes we put goals in our plate, but it's not necessarily the goal that we have for ourselves, but it's the goal that the society tells us to have. Like in my case, it was like, you need to lose like 10 kilograms. But it was more like my mom telling me since I'm little that I should do that. It wasn't really my goal. So in this program, we look at really what are your top goals and not the goals of someone else, your primary 3 goals, and then some other objectives that you could have in the year in order to have the right priorities. And then we look at how to balance that, how to organize all that in order for you to have the flow, right? So we want you to do the actions and not to have only the theory of it, but doing the action. Then we look at what kind of mindset you want to have, and how to stay strong even if lives happen and setbacks happen and so on. So because usually people it's at that moment that they stop. And then I have a Facebook group where you can share your progress, and you can follow me as well. You can follow me on LinkedIn, you can follow me on Instagram. It's even a little bit more colorful, and then it helps you as well to be in my community. So that's the program, and usually this program costs about like 500 euros, and I decided to offer it. It's the first time I'm doing something like that, to offer it for only 57 euros, which is a little bit the same in pounds and in dollars. So what I'm going to do is to, after this call, I'm going to send you the recording. You are going to have access to the recording during a week. So if you want to take notes, to look at it and so on, so feel free to do that. I'm going to send you that, and then you will be able to look at if it's something for you. I can guarantee you that if you go through all the modules, and it's like short videos, it's 11 insightful videos of 2-3 minutes. It's not something that you have to spend a long period of time studying a lot of theory. I'm really more about putting actions. You can decide to go for it and to take the nuggets that you need for your change, for what you want to change. So I put some testimonial, and people had really different kind of objectives in the last courses. You need that too, please. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I love this program because it's really what I used during the lockdown in order for me to be able to take care of my 3 children, to readjust my business, to take care of the community. I had like the French community here in Germany feeling really alone, or some people in France feeling really alone as well. I wanted to take care for them. So I need really like the structure, the energy, the mindset, and it's all the things that I use in order to be able to have that. Yeah, so do you have questions? Or if you have no questions, what we can do as well, I would love to know that, is what is your biggest takeaway of this hour together? Give you a moment to reflect. If you had to share with a friend of yours one thing that I explained today, what would it be? Yeah, the acronym D.R.E.A.M.S, bigger than dramas. For me as well, it's really something that speaks to me. And always, every time I am like, yeah, in my victim mode, life is difficult. So I come back to that, or my children come back to the mama, dreams or drama? So they're okay, okay, okay. Okay, some other takeaway from growth, focus, fun. Love that. Okay. Yeah. Growth, focus, fun, and love. I like the focus and fun at the beginning. Yeah, it's really not easy to have fun right now, to be honest. So it's one question that a client of mine asked in my group coaching last time, and then she told me how can you stay positive in this kind of world where we hear so many things right now. There is so many things going bad and so many difficulties in Europe, in Asia, and so on. So how can we stay focused? Sometimes it's even a bit decadent and a bit complicated to say, oh, I go for my dreams, when there is so many or so much misery right now in the world. I believe that our goal is to try to be as happiest as possible, to live our dream life as much as possible, because if we do that, we are in a higher energy level and we are able to give more, to our environment. I definitely can give far, far more now than 10 years ago. 10 years ago, I was just, yeah, like closing everything, and I was not a very nice person, and I was not able to give that much. Now I am more open and I'm more balanced, and my impact on my environment is higher. So yes, I do everything I can in order to stay in my dream life, because if I do that, I can help more. And I believe that if we can try to do that, the world could be a better place. Yona, I think I need to focus on one thing, but yes, that's difficult, right? That's why in the program, so it's exactly what we do. So we look at 15 goals that we can have, because sometimes it's easy to, I would like to do that and do that and do that and do that. But then the program forces you to take only 3 in order to stay focused on 3 things. And every time your brain wants to, it might be a distraction again. Your brain loves to do something else. I know that my brain does that. Every time I am very creative, I'm going to do this new program and these new things, and then I start and I'm really happy. And as soon it's done, I don't do the difficult stuff. and I find that I don't have time for that or whatsoever. So that's definitely my brain, how my brain finds distractions. It finds distraction with new ideas, new projects, new directions. But yes, it might be the program might be a help for you. I want to see if your acronyms can help me to focus. Okay, let me know. Let me know. I would love to follow you, all of you. If you take the program, if you don't take the program, stay in contact with me. I would love to to know how you are doing. If you want to share in the chat, it's not mandatory. If you have like one area of your life you know now it's really something that you endure too long, you can put that in the chat, but it's up to you. I don't want to force you to do that. Health. Okay. Job, health. Yeah. Okay. Then I hope that this 1 hour together help you to go or to have the motivation to go even more in your direction with a better health, a better job, new job, write a book. Yeah. My business, great. I love that. Okay, thank you very much for being with me. So my camera cannot anymore. My camera cannot focus anymore. Thank you for being with me. I will send you all the information. We stay in contact, and I wish you a very nice evening or a very nice day. And yeah, see you soon.